Hey everyone, so today I'm going to talk about plants that I no longer love. It's over. I am giving up on them. Though they're still in my home, I'm still taking care of them. I'm just not, I don't think that if it ever happens that, they leave, I probably won't be sad about it. Is that bad? So the first one is succulent. Now, I have a succulent garden outside. I really appreciate that they're able to handle the weather, whether it's heat or winter. So the type of succulent I'm really talking about is those that are not cold hardy. Yes, I've grown them in the summer and brought them in during the winter. I've also overwintered them in my greenhouse, but that's kind of difficult because my greenhouse is not heated. So a lot of steps have to be taken to ensure they make it through winter. The type of succulents that I have right now in my home, first of all, it is the Echeveria, which is great. I take care of it like I take care of all the plants. It's just that she's a light hog. She requires a lot of bright light. I'm talking the light that will turn a vampire to dust. That's how bright she needs it. And I do have grow lights in my home that all my other plants are fine with. But with Echeverias, you have to put her within 8 inches of the light source. So I'm having to prop her up in little small boxes to her closer to the light. She propagates easily, so I make a lot of plants out of her, but at the end it ends up the same way, they're all elongated. Now, I do have one that I put next to a south-facing window, and that one really appreciates it. It is full sun throughout the whole entire day, and actually bloomed for me last summer. So I was very happy about that. However, I only have one window that provides that kind of light, and it's kind of prime real estate. I'm not going to stuff all the Echeverias there. So I do it from different locations, and of course this one does well in that sun. But overall, it's not bringing me happiness, and it's just not the same like it was in the beginning. And the second succulent is jade. This one doesn't do much. Yes, I have it in grow light. And what I've learned recently is that you have to maintain this succulent, cut it to how you want it to grow as an adult in order to bring it or make it to that jade structure that we're all used to. And I really didn't realize that this is succulent that you have to work at it. A succulent that regardless will grow elongated and wonky because you have to put that kind of work into it. So it's easy to propagate. It is. It's just yeah, I'm sorry. It's just not working out. Now, another succulent is the Kalanchoe, or the one that I had was Flaming Katie. This one, of course, the same with the lighting. And it is a flowering succulent. The issue with this flowering period is that it has to be stimulated by the amount of darkness it receives through the season. So if you want to be able to do this or force it to go into this blooming period, you have to provide it with full darkness for, I think it's 16 hours. I found success in having it at the south facing window where, because again, it's a succulent, it needs full sun, and when the time changed from the spring to or summer to fall, the days got darker, and that's what actually triggered it to produce a flower. But that was the only time this happened, and I had it for 5-6 years perhaps, so it just wasn't worth it. I mean, I do like green leaves, and I don't mind succulents. It's just it was cute when I bought her. But yeah, it wasn't worth it. It does propagate well, but again, it was just not blooming, and Yeah, I don't want to work for it. Sorry. Relationships are all about give and take, and sometimes this isn't worth it if I have to give more. Now, I said had because a few weeks ago I did have to toss it out. It did get scale infestation, so it was really bad. And though I did think about taking a leaf to propagate, because this one does propagate very easily, I didn't really see a point to it because we found the rocks anyway, so why bother keeping or trying to continue to maintain this plant when I really wasn't happy. And the next one is the string of dolphins. This is one I bought during COVID times. I really wanted it. I actually paid more for shipping than the actual plant cost. I'm sure many of you have done that, but for me, I'm like, oh crap. I don't do that. And we waited for like half an hour, 45 minutes to pick it up at the post office, to be honest. And I realized that this girl is so freaking finicky. It does best south-facing. Again, I have a small little freaking window. It's the only window I have in the house that offers kind of lighting, and that's where this one does best because it needs a kind of bright light to be able to actually get that dolphin shape. And also with this plant, I mean, she overgrows her pot so quickly. I think that was the problem. I had to restart her twice because she just overgrows her pot, becomes all rooted, and it just becomes like a big clump, and then it's not able to absorb the water. So now she's looking crappy, and she's dying and shriveling, and now I have to do it all over again. So I think if you appreciate a plant that grows fast, that will drain its resources so quickly to the point they have to continuously pot it every 6 months, maybe. I think it's been 6 months, since I last did this. And then you have to restart it. Sure, go for it. But I see no point in it because, now I have to cut it and everything. Certain things are worth it. This one, it's just, again, if someone wants to take it off my hands, sure, go for it. No offense to the dolphins, but if it ain't working, it's not working. The next one is orchids. I did like them for a bit, and I do appreciate them for their leaves, their structure. I have not figured out a schedule of when they actually are guaranteed to bloom. I've had them bloom in different times of season. Sometimes it's early in the year, sometimes it's the spring, fall. I can't figure them out for the life of me. I know that when it becomes a little bit cooler, that kind of stimulates the flower growth, but I didn't have any orchids that bloomed for me last year. They're also very particular when it comes to the crown. You have to be careful how you water them. If you allow water to go to the crown of the orchid and the water sits there, it will produce root rot or crown rot in this instance. And I made a mistake where I was changing out the orchid bark last summer, I believe, and some of the bark or fragments of the bark, the wet bark, got into the crown, and within weeks I saw that they were like dying out, and I didn't know what it was, and I found the bark within the crown. So they're not forgiving. There's someone who I know that owns a lot of orchids was telling me it's not about that, it's about the air flow. I've learned from my mistakes, from my experience, don't allow any water to sit in there, and if water does go in there, you better dry that quickly, have it like a paper towel handy. But that's what happened, and I lost about 2 of them or 3 of them that day. So now I'm down to 3 orchids. One is a phalaenopsis, and then the other 2 is a vanda, and then there's a second one, I don't know, I think it's a Nova Bresla. It's basically called Lady of the Night. And none of them blooming. none are blooming yet. And so if one orchid decides to find another home, I'm okay with it. I'm gonna keep trying on my Vanda and my Lady of the Night. Those are actually two baggy babies, I think they call them, that I bought those 1 year because they're baby plants. On a special note, I learned after I purchased them from watching one of Orchid Girl videos, you don't want to buy orchids when they're infants because they take years to mature. And you should be buying orchids that are already bloomed or are currently blooming, because at least you know that they are guaranteed to bloom. So now I have these two orchids. I've had them for probably 3 years now, or 4, and I have not seen a single bloom. I'm hopeful one day I will. But yeah, so once, I'm not wishing ill on any of my orchids, but if it ever happens that they some one way or shape or form get out of my home, I will not be refilling that inventory anytime soon. The next one, and this is another one in line with succulent, is the Happy Being plant. Now, we're not officially over yet. We're still working our relationship. We're going to therapy because this one has actually improved a little bit. I put it under a different grow light, and it seems to like it better, where now it's no longer growing wonky. This is a plant that wants more light, so now it seems to be getting what it needs, and it's being better, I think. And I can't say, I'm trying to like it at this point. So we're still working on a relationship, and maybe I'll come around, so to speak, and resolve our issues somehow. But yes, succulents. Okay. And the last one is this plant that I got during a plant shop. Making kakadama, I'm not saying that wrong. Kakadama. Sorry. And I never got the tag, but I think it's a philodendron Xanadu.
He's hypnotized.
I don't know what to make of this. She's very sensitive, so she needs to be watered on a weekly basis. She'll dry off now, and she just tilts for whatever the sun. She just easily tilts, so I have to rotate all the time. And maybe it's me. Maybe I haven't provided her with what she needs, but at this point, I'm just tell me what you want. Let's just figure this out and just move on from this chapter, shall we? So anyway, right now she's living over here, but the spark is not there. Though we were matched up, so it wasn't like neither one of us had a choice in this. So anyway, I think that's all for now. I thank you for watching. If there's any plants that you feel you've fallen out of love with, please comment below. And welcome to our madness.